This is AL Thick Madame. So I'm in my car. I'm sorry for the noise. I have my AC on as high as it will go because it is a very hot day today and I cannot afford to pass out, black out, all this other stuff. It is too much going on. So yeah, I just wanted to come on here for a few minutes to see how y'all doing. First of all, I hope y'all are doing well. I hope y'all are having a wonderful day. I know that I have been so far. Also, this is kind of like a thoughts video. So I was going to do the review for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. As y'all have seen, I've done like one or two or however many episodes for this season, but nobody cares enough for me to do them. Well, at least for me to do them. They care when other people do them, so I was just like, well, I'm just gonna stop that. But from time to time, when I see certain things happen on the show, I want to address it or, you know, speak my piece on it. So with this specific episode that came on, the part where Kirk and Rashida were talking and his daughter, I think her name is Kelsey, came and met up with them and informed them that she couldn't get Cannon, which is supposed to be the outside baby, as some people like to call them, you know, the child that was made and birthed by a side chick or whatever she want to call herself. But anyway, I'm still confused because I could have swore it came out that that was all for a storyline because Kirk and Rashida didn't have nothing going on outside of the fact that Kirk been cheating on her since the day they met. So I mean, I was like, that ain't really nothing interesting or anything that can be classified as made for TV, you know, that's interesting or whatever, that will grab viewers, that is drama filled or whatever. So I was told, I don't know, like when the baby was first born, that this was all storyline, this was a whole lie. But I'm not sure. I still don't know if that's true or not. So anyway, let's just pretend that it is true. I hope it is true for the sake of the child, because it would be ridiculous if they sitting up here dragging an innocent child into something like this for money. Anyway, the point I want to make on this is that, you know, I don't like the fact that they are using Kelsey as the go-between. I get it in a sense, but I feel as though they should have used somebody. If you're going to have a go-between, you need to have somebody else, because Kelsey is young. She don't want to have to do all that all the time. And the mama might actually, or whoever has the baby at the moment, might be making up excuses as to why the child can't go with her so that she can bring them to Rashida and Kirk so that they can spend time with him. Now, I really hope that's not the case, but I know people who do this. They really will sit up there and make up lies because they don't want the baby to spend time with the father or the mother, and then they'll go to court and be like, they never were around, they never even tried. And they really would be trying, and they would sit up there and create situations and make it seem as though they aren't trying when they are. So I'm really hoping that that's not what the case is with this. So I just think it's crazy that y'all can't. My thing is this: I feel like I would be grown enough to be like, okay, I made this baby with this person. We can sit down and talk and discuss a schedule, and if something changes, or if he wants to see the baby a little more often, especially since I'm still out here trying to party and live my life and all the other stuff, which is what they're trying to make it seem like, what's her name, Jasmine, the child's mother, is doing, then okay, can y'all get Cannon today? Can you get Cannon for half the day while I go look for jobs? Do something. I don't know. But I just feel like none of that is happening and nobody's trying. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like Kirk is like, look, I'm trying. I feel like he's doing the bare minimum, and I'm just like, I can't. I mean, at least from what we're seeing play out on TV. So I'm going to say this last bit and then I'm going to be done. So as far as the go-between and all that stuff, like I said, you know, I get it, but at some point you have to just be an adult about the situation and be like, look, that's my child. You should be able to be cordial enough to be like, hey, give me the diaper bag, bye. Like, you can conjure up 3 words. Hey, where the baby at, bye. You know, hey, diaper bag, bye. Something. You can conjure up a sentence worth of words while the child is being exchanged. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to really say it like it's a drugs transaction, but a lot of people, that's really how it ends up being. I mean, it's sad to say, but I mean, I'm just saying. And I see people do this all the time. They can't stand the ex, or they just didn't work out, and they literally meet in a parking lot, out in the open, or wherever. It doesn't necessarily have to be a parking lot. They meet out in the open, or drop them off at the house, and they have a certain day, a certain time, and some change. They have something in place for that, whether they can get the child or not if something has happened. Like, I don't understand why it has to be, oh, well, you're the go-between. You know you have to do this. And I'm just like, why she got to be the go-between, though? Like, everybody don't want to sit up there and spend their time doing that. I mean, she ain't getting paid for that. So, I mean, yeah, that's her brother, essentially, but I'm just saying, she literally said that out of her own mouth, basically. She ain't getting paid. Like, y'all got her doing the most. And that's a lot. You already got to deal with the fact that the child is leaving a familiar environment that they are always in 99% of the time to go to an environment that they are in 1% of the time. So, from what I've seen happen with my own 2 eyes, with other kids that have experienced this, where they have to share the time, you'll sit up there, pull that child from that environment. Sometimes the child will act up because they don't want to leave, and, you know, cut up something terrible. But, I mean, it's just something that has to be done. So you got to account for that time that you got to spend removing them from the house, removing them from the vehicle, or wherever the child is at. They might be crying down, beating the seat down. Y'all, when I was a social worker, I had that happen to me before. Child set it all the way off, Lord Jesus. When I tell you, and the child was 4, he had, like, I don't even want to go into it, y'all. When I tell y'all, I thought I was going to black out. The child did the absolute most. The child was like Chucky. And I was just like, I need this job. I need this job. I really need this job. Do I need this job? Like, I really went from saying I need this job to do I need this job, because that little boy, it took everything in me not to sling this boy somewhere, because y'all don't, if y'all were to see the situation, like, when I tell y'all that child works everybody's last nerve, wherever that child is at, when he leaves, when somebody comes to get him, oh, everybody is rejoicing. Everybody has a smile on their face. And then the smile is wiped off the person who has to retrieve and take him wherever he was going off their face. Like, it's just a lot. Like, some kids will really try you, and they know that you're getting on they're getting on your nerve and all this other stuff. But y'all, as far as that's concerned, I really did want to speak on that. And you know what I'm saying? In all situations, the go-between doesn't work. And sad to say, terrible situation happened recently, like less than a month ago. I had a relative who was 19 years old, who his child's mother summoned him to where she lived. She said she needed diapers, all this other stuff. She has a boyfriend. I forget if he's living or not, or if he visits and then go home or whatever. But anyway, what happened was, our family is guessing what happened is that he got set up to come over there, and her new boyfriend killed him, and now the child is without his biological father. And it's like, why? Because you hate him that much? Because y'all used to screw and used to be together, and now y'all not, and now y'all just absolutely hate each other bad enough for you to kill him? Like, really? Like, that's what I don't understand, stuff like that. Like, I feel like nothing is bad enough with, as far as arguing is concerned, for you to be like, okay, I need to kill this person. Like, what are you talking about? But yeah, y'all, I don't know. So, like I was saying, a lot of situations aren't designed, or you shouldn't even try to do a go-between. because it really can be volatile, very, very volatile, and get very violent. Police have to be called, all that stuff. But I feel like in Kirk and Rashida's case, they should be able to set up times, be cordial enough to meet up, because it seems like they haven't even really, I mean, old girl had to pop up to a random meeting that he was having with her folks. So it's like he has literally no contact with her. And my thing is this: if she want to act a fool, if she's that difficult, go get full custody, or do like actually get a legally binding agreement where you can get him 50% of the time, she can get him 50% of the time. Especially since you said you're basically making it out to be like she's not around him anyway like that anyway. Her mama and her mama's mama are the only one who mainly be having the baby. And so it's like, it makes sense. And you over here trying to make it seem like you're a little bit concerned, and you act like you have cause for concern. So if you have all this concern for your child, then why not do what you need to do? And I understand a lot of people say, I don't want to get the courts involved, I don't want the legalities and all this other stuff to come into play. I get that, but sometimes you have to do that, because I have a friend right now who his kids are, they are about to be grown in a couple of years, but 10 years ago they weren't grown. And he knew that I was a social worker, and he asked me questions about what he could do, because he would actually hand the mother money, and whenever she would call and ask for other stuff, he would do that too. But it got to a point where she would try to make it seem like things weren't happening, and he was like, well, I don't know what to do, and I think I need to get full custody, but I mean, you know how in most cases a lot of the time the mama will get custody. And so he was just fearful that he would not be able to be shown in the light that he needed to be, so that he could get custody. And they didn't have receipts and all that other stuff, like, because of documentation. And so I asked him, I said, well, do you have the receipts or, billing statements from when you paid for all these things for the kids, and doctor's visits and all this other stuff? And he said, I have receipts for every single thing I've ever paid for my kids. And I told him, all you have to do is go to court. You have all that stuff, your payments. First of all, she took into court to get the payments raised even more. And it was just like, he already going above and beyond. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that just because the person is my friend. I'm just saying that because it really was the situation. So it's like, okay, you're doing too much. So, she really was trying to rake him over the coals. So, y'all, I just feel like in some cases you might have to just go ahead, suck it up, and deal with the legal system, or get a notary and do something, and then, do it on your own, get it notarized, whatever the agreement is going to be, and then you can, see what happens. Because if it ends up going left, you could have, both of y'all have y'all's copies of that, and whoever didn't do what they need to do, then you can somehow, take it to court and be like, look, we had this going, I tried it that way, but now it looks like I'm gonna have to go this way. So, I mean, I feel like there are all kinds of ways that you can spend stuff so that it can go in your favor. When it comes to kids, do what you need to do so that your child has the life that they deserve. You shouldn't have to sit up here and wonder if the person that is with your child, or is supposed to be the one who has, I don't even want to say temporary legal custody. The person who is the custodial parent, I guess is what I want to say, because they're with them the most. I just don't want to make it seem like, oh, well, they got them, so, oh, well, for the other person, when that's not the case, because everybody is not out here being trifling. There are quite a few that are, but everybody ain't out here being trifling. So kudos to all the mothers and fathers that are out there who really are out here doing what they got to do for their kids, and really trying to be there and work with the other person that they are no longer with, if you aren't with your child's father or your child's mother anymore. Anyway, y'all, I done babbled on long enough. That was just something that stuck out in that particular episode that made me kind of be like, okay, y'all doing too much. And it seemed like ain't nobody really caring about what the child need to be, exposed to, because kids remember stuff. I remember stuff from when I was a baby, like, believe it or not, because my mom would be like, how you remember that? Like, and I could I can do something today and don't remember what I did today. It is ridiculous to me. I remember stuff when I was a baby and a child and young child and all that. But anyway, y'all, I hope y'all are having a wonderful evening. I'm about to get going and get home. So anyway, y'all have a good day. Bye.